Well, you have to understand at the place that he's at in his life, he is bros before hoes. So even though you're his friend, see with boys and men, the first people that they take into consideration in their actions are their peers. So boys, other boys. So they're doing things to impress other boys. They're doing things to, if they approve it. They don't care what females think. Can you go put the key in the bowl? Please don't take it back there because then we'll lose it, all right? It needs to go in the bowl. No, it needs to go in the bowl. All right, so that may have been a circumstance where you could have redirected him and said, "No, Mom said put it in the bowl." But because we need to get them to start listening. Anyway, so Pink Panther is still in this space where bros before hoes, even though his good friend is a female, or a female, which is the hoe side, not that you're a hoe. And so you have to understand that has to sort through. He has to come to a space not only where in his relationships he holds that female at a higher esteem than his peers, but in his friendship, because he has chosen to have opposite sex friends, that those friends come before bros too. So he should have protected you. And at the very least, he should have heard what was being said and came back to you and be like, hey, this is what's going on. And so I'm not saying he's a throwaway as a friend. I'm saying each day he needs to present to you, even in silence. You know what I'm saying? It's not like he has to do something to prove his friendship to you every day. But everybody who you choose to have in your life, they need to show you on a day-to-day basis. Like I said, when we were on that trip in Jamaica, and those people who were on the bus with me, in that moment, we were the best of fucking friends. Now, typically what we do is, damn, we bonded in this moment. Let's exchange phone numbers and continue to try to keep this bond going. And we don't take into consideration all the baggage these people have. We don't take into consideration all all their background. We're just like, we bonded over this one thing. Let's see if we can continue bonding. But how I view friendship now is every time I interact with you, you prove your friendship to me. So should you continue being Pink Panther's friend? Based on your last interaction, is he worthy to be your friend another day? If he is, cool. Then we'll go into our next interaction. Is he worthy to be your friend now based off of this? Well, if he does some shady stuff the next time, then we understand you're choosing to keep a shady friend, or you're going to eliminate that. We keep ourselves locked into these fucked up ass relationships because we're like, well, this is my friend and they did something shady, but this is my friend. So we hold on to a friendship with someone that's not friend worthy, who doesn't know how to be a friend. And it is not our job to raise our friends. Now, it is our job to stop and say, hey, this is how I choose to be respected in this relationship. And if you choose to respect me in this, please put the lock down. And if you choose to respect me in this relationship, you continue to be my friend. But if you choose not to, unfortunately, our last friend engagement was our last time we were friends. So stop looking for lifelong friends, because you're looking for someone to abuse you and use you unless they're willing to learn how to treat you.
Yeah. That's the thing, though. Like, I'm done with a lot of these people. I don't know if I can name drop, but we don't have a name for that person.
Just make up a name.
I'll say unflavored chicken.
Okay. The M name?
R.
All right, keep going. Tell me about unflavored chicken. Stop throwing things into the fans.
So, you're not even showing me. Unflavored chicken is basically a friend. We used to work together.
Okay, I'm with you.
Yeah, we used to work together.
Unflavored chicken. That's
I was
funny.
like, what's something like you'll know? But anyways, basically, I just think I'm done with friendships where it feels like, yeah, you're kind of making an effort in your own way, but it's not rubbing me the right way. Like, they'll send me things on Instagram, maybe like once a week or something, but it's like, I don't even care about the stupid video you're showing me. Like,
Stop.
You can't even be there when I call you to be there, or you're not there when I text you, or like, I'm just the type of person where like I don't even like sitting on the phone. I like being in person with people, and they're not meeting my needs anymore.
Therefore, they are no longer friends.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I just feel like every single time I come up with the idea, stop before you break it.
Stop before you break the fan, and we're gonna have a problem. Okay?
It's like I run into this
So
issue
go
a lot.
throw it somewhere where there's nothing to break. I'm not saying you can't throw it. I'm saying don't throw it into the fan.
I have a lot of these situations where
You could throw it right there in the hallway. There's nothing to break.
in the hallway.
Right there, you can throw it. Enjoy. Okay, well, if you start throwing it over there, then now you have created another issue. But you are in a perfect spot right here where you can throw it straight up and not hit anything. I'm trying to give you what you want, but give me what I want. I'm listening. Unflavored chicken. Not giving you what you want.
Yeah, but it's like, I feel like I make friends from the situations I'm in. Because like right now I have another coworker now where I talk to her a lot, and she's relatable, you know. She's a young black girl. She's like 20, 21.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, we still have the same adversities. Like, we both hate our job. We both, you know.
So you trauma bonded with her?
And I feel like I do that with everybody. Like, my friends are people I trauma bond with. Like, Unflavored Chicken, we, you know, the things that we do together, you know.
Yeah. They're not up there either straight or down.
Yeah, like, it's like, or, right, because Unflavored Chicken is a dropout.
Yeah.
And that's another thing. Like, I don't want friends like this who I feel like I'm making waves in my life, aka graduating. But like afterward, like right now, I kind of feel like I'm on the same level as Unflavored Chicken now. I'm not doing anything.
So you have to understand that life is ebb and flow. You're gonna go up, you're gonna go straight. You're gonna go up, you're gonna go straight. Your objective in life should be to never go down. So if you are associating with people that bring you down, then those are people you need to disassociate yourself with. And you don't know they're going to bring you down until they provide an opportunity or a situation presents itself where they bring you down. And you only allow somebody to bring you down once. You know.
Do you feel like Unflavored Chicken has brought me down?
You have not shared a story with me that alludes me to believe that Unflavored Chicken has brought you down. Now, Unflavored Chicken is a dissenter. They are someone that will bring you down. If you were to actually be their ace, you would be in a lot of situations that are beneath you. I know that.
That's what I'm thinking.
But you're not her friend like that. Anytime you guys hang out, you're bringing her up. You're bringing her into your space. You rarely, that I know of, have gone into her space. If you do go into her space, you're even tone. When she comes into your space, you're elevating her. But I do believe if you go into her space, she's going to bring you down. So you have to pay attention to that. You are going to have people who just meet you at the level you're at. That's the bonding space. You have to meet someone at the level they're at in order to bond with them, in order to either take them up or take them down. So you're going to meet people who like to do the lame ass shit that's not progressive that you like to do because that's how you build bonds with people.
And that's what I'm saying. I don't want to do stuff like that. Like, I don't want to go party with my friend or something. Like, that stuff is tiring.
It's lame as fuck.
Like, do you want to go home? Like, because I want to go home. Like, I would love to go home, but I don't want to be the person to be like, no, you know?
Yeah.
Or, let's see. What's another example? Yeah, that's a good thing to say, because I would be going down. Like, I'm not even comfortable. And then that ties into, like, earlier. Like, I don't want to bring people into my home that I feel are taking my energy. Like, you say I'm lifting her up when I bring her around. Like, imagine, like, what we talked about earlier, how I want more people to come over. I don't want to just bring people into my space and then they steal my energy and then
But you might be the conduit that changes their life. You know what I'm saying? So you just have to be aware of the people that, like, unflavored chicken isn't a bad person. You know what I'm saying? Unflavored chicken just doesn't have the life experiences that you have. Pee in the bed didn't have the life experience that you had. So bringing pissy sheets, I like that one better. Bringing pissy sheets around, you know, you weren't necessarily bringing her into your space to suck your energy. You are exposing them into something that they've never experienced before. So now they're seeing a stable home environment. Now they're seeing a mother and a father that actually get along. Now they're seeing love between siblings and all that's going on in your home. You're exposing them to something that they may not even know exists. You know what I'm saying? Like earlier when you were saying I have nothing, I was sitting here thinking, I was like, sis, I was just in Jamaica where people don't have running water. Like, we ain't got to talk about the people in Africa don't have, no. I was just in Jamaica and I was driving down a road where I saw people who live in wooden shacks with no electricity, no water, and they have an outhouse. They literally have to collect rainwater and purify it in order to have drinking water. So for you to say just because you don't have access to a car, yeah, that was all bad. Kaden, get off of the chair. Slowly lift up off of the chair, Kaden. Slowly lift up, nice and slow, or fast. You know, for you to sit here and say that you have no, Kaden James, get down. Learn from the first time. It's not a game. Let's go. For you to say you have nothing, I'm like, no, sis, you just don't have access to a car, but you could go to the corner right now and catch a bus. So you have something. Your life is challenging. I know, but I'm talking to your sister, so go stand over there and I could throw it to you over here, but I don't want you to stand between us, okay? You know, so we got to figure out perspective. And you bringing people into your house is allowing them an opportunity to have perspective. Now, I'm not telling you to go pick up strays and bring them into my house.
Well, I'd say, now we need a new nickname for someone else.
You are a stray picker-upper.
Yeah, I was about to say there's...
Oh, curly hair?
Yeah.
Yeah, she was a stray.
Yeah, that's what it felt like. You know, she had just moved to Arizona.
But she had potential. Everyone that you've... Look, I have come to you. Kaden, chill out. I have come to you and I've said, hey, this person ain't shit. I've told you that about your friends before, right? Kaden, stop.
You did it.
Okay, but stop. I've come to you and I've told you I don't like this person before. And I haven't said that. Yeah, I didn't like pissy sheets. But now I'm in a space where I can understand, you know, I can understand that some friends are going to take you here. Some friends are going to take you here. And you're the dominant personality in all of these friendships. You may not feel that you're the dominant personality.
Because I consistently make, like, I'd say in the physical world, I make a lot of, what is it called? Compromises. Mm-hmm. But, like, mentally wise. They feel mentally uplifted. They feel like I'm the better person. Like, I had times where people, like,
They didn't stop.
Like, Curly, she'd tell me, oh, like, I wish I had your confidence. I wish that you did that. Like, you know, these people have troubles in the inside, but they won't project it. Or, like,
You did it.
Excuse me.
Or, like, them. There'd be times when they'd be like, oh.
You got me playing catch fetch with the dang. Go and get your business, boy. Stop.
But yeah, basically, like, pissy sheets, it just seemed like...
Stop.
Like, I gave them a sort of thing. I mean,
I said stop.
I feel like my error in my ways is that I tell people what I say about them. Like, when I would get in trouble, I'm like, oh yeah, my mom, she said that you're a bird. Like, ooh, that's not something you tell your friend. Like, but I mean, I just feel like it's open. Like, I even told Jalen, we're just gonna act like, yeah. I even told blank. I'm not even gonna say the nickname to associate it.
Yeah.
So, anyways, so I even told that person, like, yeah, I be talking to you. We hadn't even gotten to the point where, like, I was screen sharing. And I just...
Screen sharing
my text messages.
between us?
in general, anybody. I just search up their name.
And share with people. Yeah, that's a violation of privacy. Don't do that.
What I was saying. Basically.
Oh, your side. That's fine, because I do the same thing. I'll screenshot my words. You can share your words.
Yeah, no, it was like.
Kaden, chill out. Please throw it at him.
Like one time, Jalen had one time.
Red pillow.
Yeah.
There's a red pillow right there.
One time, Red Pillow. He had texted me on Derek's death day, and he was like, "Oh, I know it's your brother's birthday or death day or something. Like, hey, if you're good, then I'm letting you know all this stuff." And I posted it on my story, and then my friend Tanaya, she's fine. She's clear. She's a good girl. Tanaya, she was like, "Oh, he's back in again." I was like, "Yeah, LOL. He's trying to." My condolences into like keeping hoes. And that's like something that you saw. Like that's the type of talking I be doing. And that's what you saw. And I'm like,
yeah.
I don't know if it hurts your feelings or not, but I haven't talked to him since. He was like, I gotta go play in the water with my little sister.
That's what Red Pillow said? Okay.
And that's how it ended, and then we haven't talked since.
Okay.
The next day, I was like,
Kaden, be quiet. If you want to play, you need to stop saying that and just throw it, okay?
what do you want me to do? Like,
Throw it at him. Not around him, at him.
I'm trying to keep him from.
Is he saying you're cheating?
I don't know.
I thought he was saying you're stinky.
I can't even. I don't even know.
Well, anyway, the reason why I hopped on this live was I was telling my hello, how are you guys? I won't tell nobody.
Thank you. Secrets with us.
Yes. Oh, yeah. She said thank you for keeping it to yourself. You know, we started talking because she's talking about the issue she's having with friends, and I was like, well, you know, she keeps coming to me about friends. And I was just like, I've been having some revelations about friendships because we meet these people and we're like, boom, this could be my friend. We're out here and we're so lonely, and we're lonely because our family has abandoned us. That's why everybody's so proud with friends are the family you create. Why do we have to go out? Please, dude, what is up with the grunting? Stop grunting. Why do we have to go out and make a family? Why can't our family be our friends? Like, we really need to work on that, and that's what we're working on here. You know, we're working on being friends within our family instead of conflict, so then our children... Hold on, how do I pause this? Because I'm about to have to check him, and I can't check him on camera. End now. I don't want to end it. I just want to pause it. How do I pause? Y'all just gonna catch me checking my kid. Kaden, stop. I am trying to record, and people cannot hear me speak if you are making noise in the background. So you need to stop, or you will leave this room. Do you understand? Do you understand?
Yes.
Okay, as long as we're on the same page. Because the next time is going to be me reaching out and touching you, and I don't want to.
This is a bedroom.
This is a living room.
It's a living room, Daddy, not a room.
It's okay. You will have to leave this living room if you do not stop, okay? So please, you can play silently, quiet.
Okay.
Thank you, dear. So, anyway, so she's having these issues with her friends, and I was like, well, we need to stop trying to make people, one, lifelong friends, and two...
Mom, I have one for Rabbit.
Okay, are you done throwing it to him? Then I can throw it if you're done, but it seems he wants to play catch. And so she just needs to... Friends are day to day, you know? Everybody wants somebody to be their friend. Oh yeah, back to family. Our family needs to be our first friends. Our family needs to teach us how to be friends. Our parents need to teach us how to be friends. Our parents need to be our first friends, not one of our little friends. We ain't out here doing the dumb stuff you doing with your peers with our kids. But they should be able to talk to us. They should be able... It's a room, girl. It is a... I'm going to let him be great, because if I argue semantics with the 4-year-old, we're going to be arguing all day. Anyway, so, we need to teach our kids how to be friends. And the only way that we could teach our friends, because look, if we, my thumb is stuck. Look, y'all see that? If we aren't being our kids' friends, then our kids are going out in the streets and learning how to be friends. And we don't know how somebody else's child was taught to be a friend, right? So we need to teach our kid not only how to be a friend by being their friend, but we need to teach our kid how to be a friend by helping them recognize people who are not friends. You know what I'm saying? And so that's why it's day to day. And my daughter's like, well, such and such happened, and how should I play this? I was like, well, they got one more opportunity. First of all, you communicate to them and say, hey, how you treated me is not conducive with my friendology. So if you want to continue being my friend, you need to friend me this way. And this isn't inflexibility. This is Red Pillow heard someone talking about my daughter, and Red Pillow at any time could have gave my daughter a heads up. Red Pillow chose not to give my daughter a heads up because it's bros before hoes, and I'm not saying that she's a hoe. I'm saying that he was loyal to the little boys who were plotting against my daughter instead of being loyal to my daughter, even though my daughter is a friend. Let me read this comment. Y'all know I can't see. I love that distinction between little friends and first.
And first what?
First friends. Oh, you were listening? Yes, that is a distinction, because a little friend is someone where, we gonna go do dumb kid stuff.
Chicken.
What about me?
Well, no, parents always say I'm not one of your little friends, which means we can't even build any type of bond. There's going to be a clear divide between me and you because I'm not one of your little friends. But the moment I became open to, hey, you can come talk to me and we can, bond, and the way that we bond is you being honest, being able to be honest with me. And the only way you're only able to be honest with me is if I become your friend, which means you can tell me, Mom, I was smoking weed, and I'm not, what? No, one of your little friends is sitting up and smoking weed with you. That's Dre. I'm not going to smoke weed with you, but you can tell me you've been smoking weed. Now I can have a conversation with you. And I'm not even going to discount, because I watched a bus full of people in Jamaica vibe the fuck out about talking about weed. I was like, all these strangers are getting to build a bond with each other and trust between each other, whatever that looks like, because they're talking about weed. And I'm like, whoa. And then when we were at the airport, Dre and this other guy starts talking about sports. And I think it's stupid, but I'm just like, they are building a bond because they're talking about sports. So this topical stuff matters. Sitting with Dre and smoking weed, you guys are closer now than had you not sat and smoked weed with him. So him becoming one of your little friends, now you guys have a bond. Yeah. But let's move into the friend zone.
Put it back, please. It's mine.
Yo, we're not throwing a giant ass unicorn. Go put the unicorn back, Kaden. Did he go in your room?
Yes.
You do not. And you're gonna throw it at me?
Yeah.
No, boy, go take that damn unicorn back. Jesus. So
Go.
it's okay to, if you don't know how to be a friend to your kid, I guess it's okay to be one of their little friends age appropriately, because Dre is one of Bailey's little friends, and now we're running into them becoming friends, because Bailey keeps coming to me and saying, Dre this and Dre that, and then Bailey or Dre keeps coming to me, Bailey this and Bailey that, and I'm just like, why don't y'all go to each other and have this exact same conversation? And because you guys don't know how to communicate, hold on, stop. We can't talk at the same time, Kaden, okay? So please allow me to talk. Because they don't know how to have this conversation, it's going to be conflict. And that's why me and Dre were arguing. Those of you who don't know me, I jump around a lot, but it all makes sense. Anyway, that's why me and Dre were arguing in the airport, because we weren't arguing. Dre was yelling at me in the airport, and I was speaking the same way I'm speaking now. Because Dre doesn't know how to, at this space in his life, does not know how to bump into conflict without it turning into escalated voice and, that's how conflict has been written for him in his script thus far. For me, Hold up. Is that Bailey? Yep, that's my Bailey. Oh, how do you wanted to know the spelling? It's the second one, Bailey. I worked. Yes, I'm like, yes, it's Bailey. No, I worked at the Gap. Well, you gotta move to catch it. People aren't always gonna throw things directly at you. Sometimes you have to move your feet to go catch it. So, okay? It's okay to move your feet to go where she catches it. Anyway, so yeah, he hasn't updated his script where, hey, babe, hasn't updated his script to where conflict isn't raised voices and drama. We can conflict. Me and Bailey had a discussion earlier that in the past would have been an argument or an elevated back and forth where she's trying to plead her case to me and I'm trying to set my standards to her, however it is, But, it's just a discussion. And this is the discussion I decided to go live because this is just, I think you guys need to see all the crap that I sit in front of the camera. Caden, if you can't play with a smile on your face and enjoy the fact that somebody's playing with you, you should stop playing. Okay? Oh, hey, no, you were right. I know Dre is your husband, and Caden introduced himself. Yes. Hey, fam, how you doing? You know us in real life? Oh, are you just part of the team? You part of the community? Because if you're part of the community, you know all of us. Yes, that's Bailey. Bailey is chilling, having her issues. I was journaling, and I got a reading. I'm going to have to do a video. I got a reading in January of this year. And the woman who gave me this reading, I met her on social media. I'm new to the community, but I love you and your crew. Thank you so much. And we love you back, like real talk. Engage with us and we going to engage back. Like we are truly building community. And so, like if we can't build, like if we can't find, to get back on track, if we can't find the authentic people that we want to fuck with on a day-to-day basis in our day-to-day life in the material world, then if I got to go online to find my community and to build my tribe, then I'm going to go online to find my community and build my tribe. You know what I'm saying? And I think that we're in touch enough with our souls that we know authenticity. Yes, I am someone that you encountered on the internet. But if you're in touch with yourself enough, you can see that there's something about me you vibe with. There's something about my family you vibe with. And people want to say, oh, it's on the internet, it's not real. What you get from me is I'm as real as you gonna get. If you see me out in public and I'm posting all these Jamaica videos, and I told Dre, I was like, yeah, I thought I was documenting our vacation, but really I'm showing how we vibe in the real world. I'm showing people, Lonnie sitting in this bed talking all this, but how does it really manifest? So when I was recording, you say what? The Naughty Taco. Yeah, when we went to the Naughty Taco, I somehow sat down, ended up eating schlongs with 3 other men. And everybody's like, them men are just, no, they are in some sort of self-development program. And in the self-development program, their mentor told them that you need to challenge yourself to do something that you would never do every day. And sitting down and eating a schlong, a glizzy gobbler, is challenging themselves. And we walked into the Naughty Taco. They were standing in the line in front of us. And, I'm documenting everything. And the guy's like, starts talking to us. And I'm talking back. And that's how I made friends in the Naughty Taco. That doesn't mean we're friends forever. And yes, 2 of the 3 of them have my phone number. Yes. I don't know how we ended up exchanging phone numbers, but I was like, what's really going to piss me off is I have had this number since Bailey has been alive. I want to say this number is this old. And I keep giving my damn number out. And I'm going to give it to the wrong person. They're going to burn my number and I'm going to have to change my number. And I am so attached to this phone number. But anyway, we exchanged phone numbers and we ended up doing the challenge together and just vibing. So it's a vibe. Yes, thank you. Hold up, let me go back. So true. I'm new to the community. So true. One of the greatest things about the internet. I've met all of my present day friends except for a handful. Shit, I only got a handful of friends. So the handful of the handful, half of the handful, I met on the internet. You know, I'm going through the financial situation I'm going through right now, and I was talking to my friends that I met on the internet, and they were like, hey, when they go back to school, I got you on the school supplies. Like, oh yeah, Crystal's gonna buy my baby school supplies this year. I gotta find somebody to get their shoes. I'm gonna call my dad. I'm like, hey dad, you know you never bought me shoes for school, but your grandkids need some shoes. Why don't you go ahead and take care of that for me? Anyway, I'm just being honest and having a conversation, y'all. I'm not pandering. Anyway, yo, I saw, like, y'all want to say I'm bad by saying tip the jar? No. The tipping, whatever is predatory in Jamaica. Like, you're afraid to see someone coming because you know you've got to tip them. And if you don't tip them, they're going to make you feel like you're doing something wrong. Like, we literally ran out of money. Like, to tip, you must have cash in your pocket. And if every human we interact with, we have to tip, we have now run out of money. And when you're telling people I run out of money, they're just like, hey, this is how I live. This is how I make my living, which it is. Because the bus guy, when we were coming back, he was like, they don't have a welfare system. They create their own jobs. As you're driving down the street and you see all these little huts on the side of the road, it is because they are renting that land from the government. They have put this temporary structure on the land, and they're going to the farmers, buying fruits and vegetables. Yeah, and they're selling it, and that's how they feed their family. And I love the sense of community out there, because they're like, if you can't feed your kids, you go to your neighbor and you say, hey, I can't feed my kids. And they're like, boom, here you go. Like that Tiana, hey, everybody, we got gumbo. And somebody was like, well, I got this and I got that. That's how they get down in Jamaica. It was freaking beautiful, you know? And so community, it's beautiful. I definitely vibe with your point of view. Thank you so much, babe. Oh, hey, Carby. Hey, Sass. Let's see. Yeah, that's one of my friends on here. Let me see. Yes, I'm grateful you opened this conversation up, learning how to be the best parent I can be. Yes, we have to. Thank you. Thank you to my tip jar. Thank you. Thank you to all of you who believe in the vision and understand what it is, because, yeah, I'm going to have to get a job. No, no, I decided I'm going to start doing art again. But I was like, what's my price point? Because I can't, to sell my art for $300, I'm literally paying you to take my art. Because if you think about the hours involved, the cost of materials in 2023, you know, my hands, like all of this, you know, to do art, to sell it. And I know $300 is a lot to the consumer. Give it back to him. Don't come out here starting no drama. That's not what we're going to do. I said today we are going to be nice to each other and treat each other with respect.
He was treating me.
No.
I grabbed it first.
But it's his. So go find another stuffed animal. There's a house full of stuffed animals. Pick one and play with that one. Anyway, let me see.
Where's my bigger one?
I know you're Jamaican, sis. Yes. It was beautiful. Have you been to Jamaica? I got hush puppies. Here I come. Please bring the hush puppies, please. Bailey made some banging ass tacos yesterday, y'all. When they leave Jamaican, a lot of them drop that community. They do. All the Jamaicans, like that whole, look, I get it. I was in the hospitality area, and I get, hold on real quick. Hey, no, please stop. I want you to stop, and I want you to listen. I'm speaking. And so in order for them to hear me, you can't be doing all the yelling in the background. So stop. Hey, I'm trying to be, diplomatic right now. But I'm about to get real dictatorship in here if y'all don't listen. Do you understand? So anyway, yeah, I understand. I think, boom, let's talk about energy. The whole energy on the island, what I experienced. I can't speak of the island as a whole, but every person that I encountered, the energy, it was a vibe. So if we think about the energy collectively, you know, if everybody or the vast majority of the people on the island are on this vibe, then the island is going to have the energy. Does that make sense? And so I think when we get there, especially as Americans, we're so used to this toxic ass American shit. We go out there and we get on this island, and because so many people are on this positive vibe, especially in the hospitality area, we could go to another area and the energy could be completely different because the majority of the people in that area are on a different vibe. But in the hospitality, I don't know what it's called, but y'all know what the hell I mean. In this particular space, the energy is vibrating so high because everybody vibrates so high. And then we immediately hop into this energy and we start vibrating higher and we start feeling better because we're in this energy. But then we leave that energy, or the Jamaicans leave the energy and they come into an American energy and they adapt that energy. This country is toxic as fuck. Like, I was just like blown away. I was just telling my journal, I packed all of this stuff because I thought this was about to be, look at me cute in my dress, look at me cute in my dress, look at me cute in my swimsuit. I thought it was going to be one of those trips. It wasn't. I didn't even wear the clothes that I bought. I just wore whatever the hell I wore. You saw what I wore, because it wasn't that trip. It was okay, let me figure out what the hell is going on here, because there is something different that's happening in Jamaica that is not happening in America. And if I could figure it out, I figured out that yo, real talk, cut it out. I'm not playing anymore. No, go to your room, Kaden, because I told you to keep your hands to yourself. And if you want to whine and cry, I will definitely help you along that road. Cut it out. I get it. Go to your room. Hey, when you can make better decisions, you can come back, but I'm not doing it now. Yes, hey, collect your thoughts. There's no need to stutter. Just stop and think about what you need to say, and then you can say it. But you sitting there stuttering at me ain't gonna get us nowhere. Hold on. Yeah, so can you make this part of your job? How can... Man, I need to figure out how to make this part of my... Look. What, Bubba? I know, I've upset you, but you've also upset me. So can you go to your room until you decide to act right? You could come back on a better energy, but right now we're not doing it. Okay, but I don't have a response. I just want you to be quiet. That's it. If you could figure out how to be quiet, you could do what you do. Yes, I'm trying to make this my job, because that's why I have the merch. That's why I have the book. That's why I have the tip jar. If I can generate an income from doing this, then I can do this as a job, which is the goal. This is the goal. Let's see, Savannah. I'm going to call you Savannah. Speak. You better speak on that, Savannah. No, it's not. I would pay that for a piece after back to school. I don't know what that comment was about, but yes, freaking back to school. I don't even know how we about to send these kids back to school. All I keep playing is, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing's going to be all right. And I know that since we've been going through this financial space that we're going through, like, we have been able to ink out every month. Every month, I'm like, I said 300 was too much for art. Oh, okay, boom. It's not, but I'm really trying to I'm not trying. My prices when I come back out are going to be $1,200, because the last piece, first of all, my counterparts that do the same, that make faces, they don't do the same stuff that I do. But my counterparts, white men who do what I do, one, his prices start at $3,000, and the other one, his prices start at $5,000, because I had someone go and do some market research for me and say, hey, if I want a piece, how much? One quoted $3,000 and one quoted $5,000. So I'm like, okay, I'm not going to come out the gate there, but I think $1,200 is plus shipping is fair. So that's what I'm going to do. Let me see what's going on. Let me see. How can you make this part of your job? No, it's not. I would like original art for my home. Yeah, and my stuff is dope. I'm going to start a series where I'm going to talk about the pieces. Yes, sir.
I want you to not be nice to Michael.
You want me to be mean to Michael?
Yes.
Why should I be mean to Michael?
Because he always wants to be mean to me.
Oh, so because...
Why would I be mean to you, Kaden? And my mom will be mean to me. Not even true. You can't do that. My mom came to say he hate me. Really mean me.
You said, did you hate your brother?
Yeah, that he did.
What does hate mean, Kaden?
That means if you be mean to me, that means I hate you.
But what does hate mean? I understand what you're doing.
It means I don't like you.
But you're not the one that used hate. So I want to know the person who used hate. What does hate mean?
It means I don't like you.
Okay, Pete and repeat. What does it mean not to like someone?
Because if he was bullying me.
He was bullying you?
Huh?
If he what?
Bully you, Kaden.
I don't know if that's what he said. I'm trying to understand what he said. Look, babe, you don't hate your brother. That's your best friend, okay?
But he's not.
You guys need to learn how to treat each other. That's the issue. You guys need to learn how to treat each other like friends. And friendship isn't hitting each other and taking things from each other and being mean to each other. Oh, that wasn't enough screen time for you? There you go. That's all you, homie. All right. Hey, friend. How you doing? I would love to see what you have. I can't afford $1,200 for my first piece, but I got you. Hey, it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? I know that my art is going to be auctioned at Sotheby's one day. Look, I look at it this way. Yes, we see. I don't even know what is this, but stop showing your chest. Keep that covered up. That's for you.
What about me does I need to wear it every time.
Well, we need to wash it because you done already messed it up. Anyway.
So, Mommy?
Yes, Michael.
Every time when me and Kate, tomorrow we need to go to Jamaica.
Tomorrow, yeah, we just gonna go to Jamaica.
Yeah.
Done deal. Say less.
If you want to sell our house, we can.
You keep saying sell the house, y'all. I don't
want to sell the house.
Yeah, it's not ours to sell.
Beautiful.
I don't like the house, and we definitely have run our course here, but until God says different, we're here. But when I got into the airspace of America, I got a text message from my landlord telling he wants to talk to me today. So I'm waiting till he get off work so he could call me and let me know when he wants us out of his property, because I'm sure if he wants to talk first, we went through a property manager. So I know if he was going to give us the 30-day kick out, he would have just had the property manager hit us with the 30-day kick out. So the fact that he wants to talk to me, I think that he's going to say, hey, how much do you need? How much time do you need to make some plans for some other stuff? But because of our financial situation, like Bailey gonna text me and say, hey, somebody from Capital One, they're suing you. I was like, yeah, add it to the Discover lawsuit I got. Stop now. I don't think it's fun. I don't think it's funny. So, he's going to say, how much time do you need to blah, blah, blah. And I'm going to say, I don't know, because 3 little birds, don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is going to be all right. And the thing that happened in Jamaica that really stopped with the noises, you can stay here and make your faces, but you need to be quiet. The thing that hit me in Jamaica was they called us and they were like, hey. They called us and they said, would you like a free room upgrade for your last 2 nights? And that's how I ended up with the room with the bathtub. That wasn't me trying to stun on y'all. That was, the video's coming. But that was me saying, they really called me and said, hey, but you can share. You weren't playing with it, so you can share. Why can't you throw a pillow up and your Pepino? Go get your Pepino. I don't understand the fixation with taking things from him. Anyway, so they called and they were like, would you like a room upgrade for your last 2 nights? And so we didn't know that we weren't supposed to bring our bags down because they were like, just when you're ready, come downstairs and blah, 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 and we'll show you your other room. Now, I'm like, okay, when you're ready, pack your stuff up, because she said, pack your stuff and come downstairs. So I was like, pack my stuff, and I brought my stuff downstairs. They didn't have no elevator that we knew about. So we got to bring our stuff down 3 flights of stairs. And when we get downstairs, I was like, hey, sis, do you guys have an elevator? And she was like, your room is on the beach. You don't need an elevator. And in my American mind, I was like, I asked you, do you have an elevator out of curiosity? Not that I need an elevator. And she was thinking, you're worried about the wrong thing. You're worried about an elevator, and sis, you don't need an elevator anymore. So regardless of what my landlord says, if we lose this roof over our head, clearly this ain't the roof that we're supposed to have going forward, which I know, but the manifestation that I was bringing, it wouldn't be we move from here into a extended stay suites until we get to wherever it is we're going. You know, we would go from here to the next. So the thing about this next that we're moving into, it's just like the of loss. I don't know what the word is. The impeding loss is just like, whoa. Like I've been sued before by creditors. You know, I've been in tough financial spots before. I've slept on people. Stop it. And you know that's not right. I know you want attention, but this ain't the attention you want, so cut it out. I've been in these situations before. I'm a former single mother. You know, up until 2016, I was out here getting it how I live. And so this space isn't new, but the way that this space is, and I guess because I'm the observer, like being in this space and not paying attention to what's happening, and you're too busy in the woe is me and my life sucks and all this stuff. So you're not watching what's happening. You're just being victim, you know, because honestly, anything that we're experiencing 99% of the time are hang up a FaceTime. I just had to let it run its course. Sorry, I was receiving a call. But anyway, I've been here before. Stop. No, stop. I want you to stop. No, you shouldn't have threw it up there in the first place. Anyway, yes, I will get it for you, or you will have to wait for it to fall off the ceiling, because I've been telling you since yesterday to stop. And Kaden, I want you to stop.
I don't want to wait for it to fall on the ceiling.
Well, you're going to have to wait for me. I'm about to send, you know what, matter of fact, both of y'all go clean your room. Now, that's what I want. In this present moment, I want you to stop, and I want you to stop, and I want you to both clean your room. Now, that's fine. You can pout on your way to your room. Go. That's fine. Anyway, fuck my life. Like, I'm trying to get this off, and my attention is constantly being grabbed for. I'm sorry, but this is reality. This is what I sit in my bed and preach all the time. I have now decided that I have to, in order to change the tide in my family with my boys who are out of control, I have to be present, which means I have to come sit on the couch and see the fuckery that's going on all day long. This is the stuff I've been missing, sitting in my room, yelling at him. Kaden, go clean your room. That's okay. You go clean your room. Same difference. So anyway, I'm going through this stage in my life as the observer. Yeah, I will get you some juice later. Go clean your room. Don't ask me for nothing if you can't give me something. This is a partnership. You don't want to be my partner, I can't be yours. I'm going to slap my feet on the ground when I pour your juice too. Go. Yeah, it's fine. Go. And so I'm not woe is me. I'm going through this and I'm just watching it, and I'm just like amazed at everything that's happening. And it's good that I'm observing it, because then I'm able to help other people go through this. You know what I'm saying? Because what I'm going through, I'm not the only one going through it. What I'm going through, 99% of the people in the world, regardless of your social economical status, they're going to go through it. And if I could figure out how to go through it, there's multiple ways to do things, right? But if I could figure out one effective way to go through it, and I could communicate it with you guys, then when you encounter it, you can develop your own way to go through it. You know what I'm saying? We don't copy other people. We use them as a catalyst to then figure out our own thing. That's why we can't be jealous of anyone. That's why we can't look at other people and want what they have. We can't do any of those back to you anytime. If there's something that, you know, about someone else that we admire, then they're being a mirror to us. Caden, stop. Okay, well then go lay down since your leg hurts. And stop. Okay, stop stretching your shirt. You know, that's just a catalyst for us to start leveling up and getting better. But what I wanted to say, the limitations in Jamaica isn't their mind. In Jamaica, they're like really free-thinking people. The people that I encountered, every person I talked to was like talking to an old, wise woman, man, human. It was like talking to an old, wise human. And I don't care if the person was 19 or the person was 80. Everyone, it was just like they had a life lesson to everything. I love that. That's why I loved K-dramas. I love K-dramas is because everybody sees the bigger picture and they see perspective. Hello, my friend. And so in Jamaica, their limitations are circumstantial. People in Jamaica, because of the way that they think and they don't... Yeah, go to your room, please. The people that I encountered in Jamaica, the possibilities from just talking to them, I could see that, you know what, the only reason why you guys aren't achieving greatness is because of your circumstances, because the system here has been designed for you to stay underfoot. Now, America, we can do whatever the fuck we want to. And that's why when I was there, I was like, I no longer take being an American for granted. I'm now a proud American. I was a proud American back in the day because I'm proud to be an American, And then all that whole Donald Trump era kicked in and I was like, this place sucks. I saw it for what it is. I saw the underbelly of America. Do you have a suitcase? Didn't your dad tell you to put that suitcase in your room? In the garage. Go put that suitcase back in the garage. But I went to Jamaica and I realized all the freedoms and liberties we take for granted. Like these babies, I watched these kids dance their hearts out on this stage. Dance their hearts out like they were Juilliard students and they were touring the world. And they're at a resort in Jamaica. And I'm not saying, hey, Vaughn, and I'm not saying anything against that. I'm saying the talent that I saw in Jamaica is limited, or their pinnacle is being on a resort in Jamaica. Like, that's how high we can climb. And I was like, damn, that talent in America, you be going places. And I was like, boom, that's how they got us. Jamaica, we know we can go as far as we can go, but the system puts a cap on us. In America, the system allows us to go as far as we want to, but we're limited here. Our limitations are in our mind. So we are stuck here in America because we choose, but we're so mind-fucked that we don't even realize that we're the reason why we're stuck. And so that's what I was like, boom, I'm going to figure that out. I'm going to figure out how to, so I'm going to figure out how, I'm also going to travel to other countries. This is my first time leaving the country, so now I have the travel bug because I really want to go to other countries and experience how the people think, how they move, how they function. Because everyone has a method of doing things and everyone has a method of thinking and all of these things. Like literally kids walking down what is considered their freeway. Kids are walking down their freeway with their little backpacks on their back, going to school. I was like, not in America. Not if you expect to see your kid again. And then what they do is they don't have a taxi system. People go buy their vans. They go to the government to get the little red license plates. And then they have their little route that they're allowed to service. And so you just go stand on the corner and a random minivan pulls up and you're supposed to hop in the minivan and expect to get to your destination after hopping in this minivan. Not in America. And I'm just like, what is the ethics? What is the the character, what is the whatever that you can hop in a random van in Jamaica and get to your freaking destination. Like, this is fucking beautiful. That couldn't happen in America. Why is our country so pervasive that you can't trust? If you have, let me know when you organize a ladies' lunch abroad trip. Savannah speaks. You better speak in these comments, because that is the plan. The plan is that I am going to, I don't know how to do this, and I think there's money involved, so I want to start hosting workshops. We are going to, like, this sister support is going to range beyond this internet We are going to start getting together. We are going to start having conversations. We are going to start meeting. And I was like, I'm going to teach people how to have fun. Watch these last videos on the, I'm going to let y'all know, these last videos where we're going to go see the Dunn's River and the Bob Marley thing. Watch the energy. Like, everybody that got on that bus, I was like, good morning. Or I know I'm not supposed to say good morning, but it's habit. Hey, how you doing? You know, I greeted everyone and they kind of grumbled at me, and I get it. We're moving at 6, 7 in the morning. Everybody ain't for that, especially when you're on vacation. But everybody was keeping to themselves and, minding their business and whatnot, and me and Dre were being me and Dre. When we got to Dunn's River, the falls, y'all, I climbed a 90-foot waterfall. If I woke up right now and I said, yo, I'm about to go climb a waterfall, y'all would be like, go, 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 go. Epic, 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 epic. But because I signed up for a tour, and it's a package to go climb this waterfall, we're taking that shit for granted. There were people who were climbing up this waterfall and like, oh my God, there's another level. Oh my God, I hate that I chose to do this. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. I'm like, you're climbing a waterfall. You can lay in your deathbed, and even before that, because I hope you reflect on it before that, you can go through life knowing that you climbed a waterfall. Like, who does that? I did, and it's dope as fuck. And there were these people up in the waterfall. They were sitting there sharing a bottle of Crown. Like, that's epic. I climbed the waterfall and sat down and shared a drink with my friends. That's epic. These are the bonding moments. These are the friendships. These are positive bonding things. So, like, when I'm talking to my daughter and she's making all these trauma bonds with these people, we're bonding because we hate our job. Okay, well, what's your next bond? We're bonding because we're smoking weed together. Okay, what's your next bond? We're bonding because we're having sex. Okay, what's your next bond? We're bonding because, okay, when were any positive bonds being formed? When did either of you elevate each other? Because friendship is going to have its ebb and flow, just like any relationship, ebb and flow, ebb and flow. But if your friendship is like this and like this sometimes, that's not your friendship. Your friendship, as long as it's feeding you. But if it ever stops feeding you, that is not your friend anymore, and it's okay. As long as you know that, do not maintain any relationship because of the other person. I'm staying in this relationship because I don't want to hurt their feelings. But you're hurting them by not saying anything. So now you're trauma bonding and causing all this drama between each other and pushing, pulling, because you would rather stay in a relationship and not have those difficult conversations. Because let's keep it G. The difficult conversation and the avoidance of the difficult conversation is because you don't want to have the difficult conversation. You don't want to put yourself in that position. No, but if you put yourself in that difficult space just once, then you can end it. However it ends. There's a person that I met on this social media app, and we bonded together immediately. And things happen however they happen, and our relationship shifted. It's dynamic. And I was okay with ending it via text. They wanted to end it via conversation, but they ended it because they wanted us to discuss it. And so I get on the phone and I'm having this discussion, but I'm the observer. I have committed to being the observer in my life. So I'm watching all of this stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm having this conversation with this person. I'm like, this is fucking wild. I'm literally having an argument with someone I met on the internet that I don't even really know like that, but I'm arguing and I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it because I'm curious where this is going to go. So we had an hour and a half argument that, you know, whatever was said in it. And it wasn't even a bad saying dumb stuff to each other. It was just us communicating our feelings. And like I said at the beginning of this live, we don't know how to communicate our feelings. So we're speaking loudly. We're saying inflammatory things because we don't know how just to have a conversation. And so at the end of that hour and a half, I was like, look, I'm not sure how I came to say this, but I was like, look, we can continue this friendship how it was before. I am very interested in being your friend in the energy that we had before. I am not interested in continuing this relationship with the energy that we have now. To continue in this is not what I want. And that was their opportunity to decide, do I want to go back to what we had, or do I want to remain in this space? And at that time, the person said, okay, I have to take my shower. And I said, okay, bye. And that is how the friendship ended. No bitterness, no talking stuff, no coming back to each other like, let's try again. No, we burnt strong, we burnt bright like a star, and we burnt out. And we both acknowledged that, and we both released it. We both had the difficult conversations that, okay, this current energy isn't working for me, and it's not working for you. So why should we continue trying? It's been real, and I love you for what you've done for me. This particular person changed my life. They came into my life, and there's someone that I talk to now who is changing my life. A young lady by the name of Coco. She is changing my life because the things that she's saying, when I put them into action, and she's not saying anything prolific, she's just being herself. But in being herself, and I'm applying, see, I'm not taking nothing for granted. I don't take shit for granted anymore. So this individual who just says stuff, she told me to change my name from _Apple number 10S. You see how I had to say that? _Apple, like the fruit, the number 10S. That was the name of my channel. And she said she has a friend who's in, their job is they're a social media strategist. I may be using the wrong name. Let me read this. Committed to being an observer in my life. Yes, boom. You know, she has a friend who is a social media strategist. And she went and talked to her, and she was like, okay, so our YouTube was As the Apple Turns, because as the world turns, as the apple turns. That was our YouTube long time ago. So our was at the Appletons, but it said As the Apple Turns on the top. So her friend, who's a social media strategist, was like, you need to switch that to As the Apple Turns and not the Appletons, because all the videos I see are Lonnie just speaking into the camera. It's not really the family. The family is sprinkled in there. So it's not the Appletons. She's like, change it to As the Apple Turns. Now, when I tell you I was in Jamaica and I was recording all these people, and I was like, hey, I know you guys have seen me recording all day. We have a TikTok channel. If you're interested in viewing your videos, it's As the Apple Turns on TikTok. And in that moment, I was like, boom, As the Apple Turns. You see how simple that is? Versus, well, if you guys want to watch this, it's _Apple, the number 10S. You know, like that's a whole lot versus As the Apple Turns. So something as simple as that, Coco has really just helped me rebrand. And just doing something simple like that. So this individual, I'm going to step outside. It's about to be hot and I'm going to be sweating. Let me grab some water because y'all know me and my cotton mouth. That shit be kicking in. But anyway, something as simple as that has really changed my life. And all of you guys, that's why this community is so important to me. Because the things that you guys say in my comments, the things that you guys, you know, sorry, I lost my train of thought. But, you know, this is community. And I love it. And we deserve it. We deserve it. And I think that those of us who get it, we're going to get it. You know what I'm saying? And those of us who choose to be offended by it are going to be offended by it. And those of us who choose to grow from it and evolve our lives, we're going to grow from it and we're going to evolve our lives. Pretty much we get out of life what we put in. Boom. That's it. You know, so this live right now is feeding my spirit. I hopped on this live because I was having a conversation with my daughter, and I was like, somebody can use this. Somebody can use the fact that I went on a tour with 8 strangers, and in that 12 hours, because we spent 12 hours together, y'all. In that 12 hours, I became really good friends with 6 of them. And I know 2 of their names. 6? No, I'm a part of the 6. 4 of them. My bad. Y'all know I can't add. Hold on. I became really good friends with 4 of them. Of those 4, I knew 2 of their names. But that's where it ended. And so that was the point I was making to my daughter, because this person that's supposed to be her friend, this guy, he was privy to some information, and he failed to share with her prior to what transpired. So he was aware that somebody was plotting on her sexually. He was aware that somebody was plotting on her, and he didn't tell her. But then after the sexual experience happened, and no, I'm not telling my daughter's business. My daughter had the conversation on video already. So those of you who always want to get in my comments, you saying too much and blah, 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 blah. You need to know. No, don't come out here. No. Nope. I came out here because y'all being too loud. So y'all stay in there. Those of you who come into my comments like, sis, you saying too much, you doing too much. But guess what? When I say too much and I do too much, now those who didn't know can grow. I'm a motherless, fatherless child. I know I'm a 42-year-old woman, but everything I know I taught myself. No one taught me shit. Nobody. People criticized me, but no one taught me anything. And if I could do my part to help somebody from bumping their head by revealing some stuff that's uncomfortable to reveal, but it can stop somebody from making the same mistakes I have, well then I'm gonna do it. So when y'all get in my comments, don't come messing with me. Good, I see you, now go. Shit, why is everything bothering me? I get it. Anyway, you know, so when y'all get in my comments, you're like, sis, you're saying too much, you're doing too much, you know. Like, I was having a conversation. I swear I don't want y'all to see me beat my kids, but I swear they're bringing up that energy in me. I don't beat my kids, but you know that energy where you just want to reach out and just snatch their face? He's giving me that right now. Hold on. What? No, go in the house. Look, go anywhere in the house you want to. Stay in the house. Please leave me alone. No, we don't even have ramen. Who bought ramen?
I said watermelon.
Watermelon? If there's watermelon, yes.
Watermelon.
Then have some watermelon. There's nothing to cry about. Y'all just creating drama. Don't bring me in it. I don't want to be a part of your drama. My God, my life. I love it, though. Anyway. Yeah, I was having a conversation with Dre. Look, Dre's go-to is, I don't know. I don't know. And I'm like, nigga, how do you not know how you feel about something? I don't know. You don't know how you feel about something because you don't want to invest enough energy in yourself to understand how you feel. Because our little boys, either we did everything for them, so now they're men who don't know how to do for themselves, or we just never transferred knowledge to them. Ooh, it wasn't a good argument, but it was a good argument for y'all. It wasn't a good argument for us, but there's a lot that came from it. I'll tell y'all in a minute if you remind me. But anyway, you know, what was I saying? Oh yeah. So Dre's go to is I don't know. And so there's a video, and you could go through the comments and you'll see the comment. There's a video where he said, I don't know. We're at dinner and I'm wearing white. And he said, I don't know. And I was like, you do know. So I want you to tell me what you think. And the comment, nothing against the commenter. I don't know this person, but it's an ideology that we hold in our community. So I'm going to address it. She was just like, you need to allow a man to be a man, and you shoving a camera in his face expecting him to answer. And I'm looking at that comment like, sis, I've been shoving a camera in this man's face since 2019. If he ain't comfortable with me shoving a camera in his face, at some point, don't you think he should say something? Don't you think that my man is at least capable to say, hey, I don't like that? He's not, because he thinks that hurts my feelings. He just told me we've been together for 6 years, married. No, we've been married 5 years, together 6 years, friends for 13 years. So let's just say 13 years, because I've been talking shit to this man for 13 years. For 13 years, I have been talking stuff about his friends, and I've been talking stuff about his family since we've been together, because they ain't my vibe. But we had this conversation in Jamaica. He was just like, because what I have said in the past is I don't give a fuck. I don't care. But now I know the language I need to use that is less inflammatory. It is not my concern. Because he's always like, you're always talking stuff about my friends, and those are my friends. I was like, I don't give a fuck about your friends. But I give a fuck about you. So for him to finally communicate with me by me speaking negatively about his friends and speaking negatively about his family is pretty much saying fuck your history. It's pretty much saying fuck all the things that you value. And I was like, damn, now that you put it that way, I see it. My bad. So you have allowed me to say these things that are highly offensive to you without explanation this whole time because you don't want to hurt my feelings. And I was just like, damn, you let me do you. And you would have continued to let me do you had I not been that chick who sat at that table in that white dress who was like, no, you do know. I want you to tell me what you know. I want you to stop, and I want you to think, and I want you to get in touch with yourself. And I want you to tell me. I want you to be comfortable with speaking to me. And to you, the camera may be a factor. To us, the camera is not a factor. God brought that man to me. God blessed me with these children. And all of us, the camera is not a factor. We can have these very personal moments in front of the camera because something inside of me, something inside of my husband, something inside of my children. Now, as you can see, I rarely show you my stepchildren. Why? Because the camera is a factor to them. So I'm not going to shove a camera in someone's face who's uncomfortable with a camera in their face. Trust me, I've done that. I got dry scalp, y'all. So if y'all ever see stuff in my hairline, if anybody got Vaughn, help me with this damn, what fruit or vegetable can help me with this damn dry scalp? Because I stopped scratching when I was in Jamaica, and by the time I got home, I had a cast on my head. It just dry. I got dry scalp, and I don't know how to fix it. Anyway, so yeah, I don't shove the camera in my stepchildren's faces. Why? Because they're not comfortable. But my husband is comfortable. And he may not be in the space to say, I don't like that, but his energy will. And I know when my husband's energy tells me to get that damn camera out my face, I get the camera out of his face. So stop coming on here telling me, let a man be a man. You let your man be the strong, silent type who thinks everything in his head and doesn't say nothing to you, so you never know what he's thinking, and you can't help him process, and he feels like he's always being silenced because nobody cares what he thinks, and then when he does speak, everybody tells him to shut up because your actions tell him to shut up. You definitely keep that husband. But now that I know better, I'm not keeping that husband. Yes, we will. We'll figure. What are we figuring out? Oh, we're going to figure this scalp out. Yes, please, sis. Because I was like, there was this chick who was sitting in front of me, and she had the little braids with the cute pattern. I was like, ooh, I could not show my scalp like that. My scalp would be in here like, oh, Lord, it's snowing. It's raining dandruff. That's what my scalp would be like. It's not dandruff, though. It's dry scalp, which is something different. I learned that in cosmetology school, but they didn't teach me how to handle the shit. So anyway, yeah. All right, what was I talking about? I know what I was talking about. I was talking about Dre and coaxing him. So you'll see me in a lot of videos going forward where I will be coaxing him to talk. And guess what? That coaxing is starting him to talk. I have watched him since we've been back. First of all, going to Jamaica, because, and this is why everyone needs to go on vacation. Anyone who's doing the work, I'm not sure. I've said this in my journal. I've said it on my lives. I've said it. This is the vibe I'm on, so shit, I may repeat myself. I talk about what I'm thinking about, so sometimes I repeat myself. You know, it's like everybody should be committing to unplugging. And not unplugging so that they can go and experience vacations the way that society tells you to experience them. Because y'all, I'm going to show y'all, but I packed so much stuff because I was going on vacation. Excuse me. When I tell you the amount of clothes that are still in my suitcase because I didn't wear them. I didn't wear any of the pretty flowy dresses, none of that stuff. You know, because this wasn't that vacation. I forgot what I was talking about because something in my mind said, what you're about to talk about, you've already talked about in this live, so don't go there. But I don't know what direction I was going. But anyway, yeah. Oh, yeah. Everyone needs to go on vacation because me and Dre, we've been arguing. Boom. Got to get back to that argument. Me and Dre have been arguing because I'm like, you're not doing any work. You're not changing. You're not putting in effort work. And everybody's doing this. And look, our family's going this way. And if you're going to stay here, then we're going to separate. And he's like, I am. And I'm like, nigga, I don't see it. We got to Jamaica. Because look, just because we're together every day, we're not living together every day. We're existing together every day, but you know, we're not really talking. We're not really introducing something new into our environment so we can test this shit out, right? Remember when I told you, well, Bashar said it. I say cycles. Bashar says the universe comes back and, you know, to see if you've grown. Well, we have to do that in our physical world. If we know...
Mom, I don't want to stay on my bed.
Okay, tell him I said to stay out your bed, but please go in the house. No, I'm not doing this with you. I want you to go in the house now. No, I am sitting out here in this hot ass heat because y'all can't be quiet, so go in the house. And so let's make this spiritual parallel first. The universe comes back when we say, I want to evolve and grow past a particular behavior. The universe is like, boom, I got you. But the way that the universe has you is you have to now be confronted with these situations. And those of you who have been rocking with me, Vaughn, you already know this. You probably knew it before me, but still, boom. The universe is going to come back and say, okay, have you changed? But the only way that I can see if you change is if you get confronted with the same situation. So that's why when we say, I want to stop drinking, we now are bombarded with alcohol. You're like, I thought I said I wanted to stop. Well, the only way that you're going to stop is not from restricting yourself from it. It's being confronted with it, and how do you handle it? And so if you handle it different, then the universe is like, okay, they leveled up. Boom. All right, so we understand that. We have to do that in our physical world as well. In our physical world, we have to remove ourselves from our current environment and take ourselves into another environment and see if we truly have changed. So by going on vacation with my husband, I was able to see all the work that he has been doing because we're not in our typical day-to-day repeat wash next. You know, we're not in that. I'm able to observe him vibing with people. I'm able to have conversations with him. I'm able to see his new philosophies. And thank God we went to Jamaica because this man turned into a Jamaican. Like, he was like, I'm about to start studying Rastafarian or whatever it's called. I was like, please, just find some sort of spirituality. I don't care what it is. I just want you to get spiritually grounded because that's what religion is. All religion to me, and I don't know if Rastafarian, if I'm saying it correctly, and I don't mean any disrespect. It's just that I don't know how to say it. So I'm looking to get offended. I don't know if Rastafarian is a quote unquote religion, but any type of organized spirituality, any type of organized religion is just a catalyst for you to understand your spiritual self, to understand your God, and to come up with your own space. It's the people who follow a religion to a T. And I said this in my journal. I was like, look, if you are only one way to God, then you are following someone else's way. But if you are your God, your truth, but you are open and allowing other people to have their God and their truth, that means you truly know God. Does that make sense? That's something that I came up with while I was out there. What is in that damn bucket? I'm not going to let them get me. Anyway, that's something I realized. I was like, God is whatever that bug is that's buzzing right now. Who are you to tell me God is not? For you to tell me who and what God is means that someone told you who and what God is. And you identify with that so much that you're willing to tell me that who I believe and what God is not. That means you don't really know God. It's a more African-centered free spirit Christianity, I think. Hey, I receive it. I bet you when I take my ass to look, when I got to Jamaica, I was like, these my people. Like the vibe that I'm spitting in these videos, they on in Jamaica. I cannot wait to get to Africa and see what they on in Africa. I'm going to really find my people. I did a DNA thing and I don't have any Jamaican ancestries in me, but now I know. See, look, I admit I'm ignorant. I don't care about y'all's judgment. I don't know everything. And the thing that everybody else knows, I may not know. Me and Dre had that argument all the time. He's like, you're supposed to know or not me, but we're arguing with the kids because he doesn't want to transfer knowledge to the kids because he thinks the kids are supposed to know. How the kids supposed to know? Who taught them? Who taught them to push the trash down? Did you teach them? Because I didn't teach them. He's like, they're supposed to know to push the trash down. Who taught them? Unless they had something in their head where they're just like, I wonder if I can push it down. God is a cicada. I'm saying, who made the cicada? How is it alive right now making that cicada noise? God is everything to me, and everything is a teacher. God has put everything before us so that we can continue to learn and grow and have the best possible experience that we can. And that's what happened in Jamaica. Everything was put in front of me so I can learn and grow, and I packed all that crap, and I didn't need none of it because I was going on a freaking eat, pray, love journey, and I didn't even know it. Julia Roberts went out there because she was really about to have her eat, pray, love moment. And I know she's an actress, but you know who the real person is. I went out there thinking I was about to have my black girl vacation experience, how we usually do. And this is another reason, I have been asking God, why are we going to Jamaica when we can't even pay our rent? And then we got out there and I was like, damn, if we would have came out here on our typical baller Appleton status, we would have been out there, look at us, we're cool, we would have did our typical baller Appleton stuff. But because we went out there flat broke, we're out there and we're like, damn, I forgot my point. And there was a really good point. Man, when I lose a thought, I be in it and then I feel like a haze just lifts up out of me when it leaves me. Okay, we went out there. Why did I derive the financial feeling? Give me a second, y'all. I'm sorry. We went out there because it wasn't about that. We would have missed everything that I pulled from that Jamaican experience. I wouldn't have pulled it because I would have been out there too busy eating good. I would have been out there too busy over tipping. I would have been out there too busy. Everybody gets shots, because that's how we get down. I would have been too busy marveling at the experience that we're able to afford. And in that marvelization, let's keep it G. I don't take any of that for granted, especially now. But even then, when we was riding high, I never took it for granted. I knew I was blessed. and we invited people into our blessings. So there's a way to be in a space of abundance and not be nasty about it. And I feel that me and my husband historically have been in a place, you know what I'm trying to say. I'm saying space and place at the same time. We have been in a space of abundance and not been only me, not you about it. You know what I'm saying? We've always been inclusive. But the energy to be able to go to Jamaica flat broke meant that we had to appreciate Jamaica. That meant we had to find meaning from something else. We can't find meaning in the flash and the cash because we don't have it. So what else can we derive? Can we sit on this beach and just stare at each other because we ain't got no money to do nothing? Or are we going to go and interact with people and vibe the fuck out? So I know that's another reason why this Jamaica trip happened and the time that it did, because remember, those of you who have been following, I planned this trip for 2022. Is when I started paying for it in 2021. But I ran out of money. It was going to be a birthday surprise for him, but I ran out of money. And so I was like, okay, it's no longer a surprise when he has to pay for it, or it's no longer a gift when he has to pay for it. So now that I have to let you in on it so you can help me pay for this, it's not a gift. And it was going to be your birthday in 2022, but I have to move it to 2023. No. It's going to be our anniversary in 2022. But because it's now this, sorry, it wasn't a birthday surprise initially. It was going to be our anniversary because it was going to be, no, we hit our 5-year now. I don't know. These are small details I don't remember, so don't get caught up on the details. The point is, it was supposed to happen in 2022, ran out of money, moved it to 2023. So that's why I keep saying, why are we going to Jamaica in this financial climate? I didn't wake up on Monday and decide to go to Jamaica on Tuesday. I have been planning this trip for 2 years. In the time that it has fallen in our life, in our physical life, it's just like, this is when you chose to send our asses to Jamaica? This is when you chose to send our asses to Jamaica? Like, what the fuck is the plan? And that's where you become the observer in your life, because you're just like, I just want to see what's going to happen next. Where's my popcorn too? I am literally watching my life like a movie, just like you guys are. But hopefully you guys are living your life while you're watching my life, and you're picking up tidbits and pointers on how to live your life more progressively. You know, because there are people who are watching to watch us fall, to watch us succeed, to watch us, you know, whatever, fizzle out. I don't know. There's people who are watching for that. But there's also people who are watching who are like, boom, she said some shit. Let me see how I can apply it. And then there's other people who are watching because they're entertained. I invite you all. But another reason why we went to Jamaica, because if we would have went in 2022, the insight that we have, look, this space that I'm in mentally happened in February, right? February 2023. We would have went into Jamaica in February 2022, which is the original date. We wouldn't have experienced none of what we experienced out there. Are you not entertained? I'm saying, are you not entertained? Yes, on my Russell Crowe. I think that's who that is. You know, but we would have went out there in 2022 and we would have missed all the blessings. And you guys could watch the videos, all the blessings. Like, we fed life into that little boy, the photographer. And, well, I fed life into him, Dre. But no, let's talk about that photography session. But before that, let's talk about the argument. So Dre and I went to go, Andre was supposed to take us, he did. Andre was going to take us to the airport. We're on our way to go to pick up Andre to take us to the airport. And me knowing how Andre gets down, he doesn't care. I'm not going to say he doesn't care, but he does not take into consideration other people in their time. Knowing this about him, I tell Dre in the most delicate way possible. You know, do you want to go ahead and call Andre and let him know we're almost there so that he's prepared to come downstairs so we can go because we have a flight to catch? So Dre texts Andre. We get to Andre's, and Dre starts calling, and Andre doesn't pick up the phone. He's like, man, this little gang picking up the phone. I was like, well, and at this point, I'm in my I told you so energy. Like, this the bullshit that we've been dealing with, that I've been dealing with. It's his norm, but for me, it's just like, this is some bullshit. I was like, dude, and again, I'm speaking normally, but I'm like, we have a flight to catch. We really don't have time to wait to see if he wakes up. And so, or whatever, why he's not answering his phone, I don't know, but we don't have time to wait to see if he's going to answer his phone. So I was like, I think we should go and find another way to get to the airport because we cannot afford to miss our flight. So we leave, we're driving down the street, and I think we're arguing at this point, and I'm just pretty much like, your kids don't know how to treat people. Your kids are disrespectful as fuck. He's like, my kids are not disrespectful. I was like, okay. And I'm not going to say what I said in the moment because I don't necessarily remember. But the point I was making is your kids do not know how to show respect because you never taught them how to show respect. I did teach my kids how to show respect. Okay, you have a flight to catch. Someone who knows how to show respect would have set an alarm. Someone who knows how to show respect would have made sure their ringer was on. Someone who knows how to show respect would have did something other than, I'm calling you sitting downstairs and you're not answering your phone. That is not respectful. So you have not taught your children how to respect you. And he's like, getting offended because whenever I come to this space, he feels I'm calling him stupid. And in the past, I have called him stupid. But that's me coming from a judgmental space. In reality, I just process life differently than you. And the good thing about the fact that we process life differently is because you can now adopt my ideologies in some cases, and I can now adopt your ideologies in some cases. We don't have to be all someone all the time. You know what I'm saying? But we err because we're like, I'm going to dominate over you. And most men, when they love you more than you love him, most men in those circumstances will yield to you and allow you to dominate, especially if your domination is typically taking us this way. So I'm going to go up with you because you're not leading me the wrong way, but you're also repressing me and not giving me an edgewise. I can't get a word in. And every time I try to say something, you argue me down, which, historically is how it's been. And so we're having our back and forth. And while we're having our back and forth, Andre calls and he's like, blah, blah, blah. And Dre cusses him out because I had told him, you need to have a conversation. You need to tell your kids that they're disrespectful. So he cusses him out and blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, well, I'm sitting there listening to him. And I'm like, well, that's not how you're going to get him to change his behaviors. All he's going to do is in one ear, out the other. I'm taking you to the airport or not, blah, blah, blah. He's not going to grow. I was just like, well, this is a perfectly good growth opportunity that you could have with your child if you sit down and talk to him. But to sit down and talk with your child and have a corrective action conversation is so uncomfortable for us. One, because do we even have the capacity to have the conversation? Dre does not have the capacity to have the conversation presently. But if he continues to do the work, then he will have the capacity to have the conversation, right? I've been doing the work. I didn't have the capacity. I just shifted over in February. All the stuff I'm talking about now has been transpiring since February. I'm open to knowing that I don't know nothing. So let's figure this out. You see me dealing with these kids. If I was successful in parenting these motherfuckers and keeping them in line, I wouldn't keep having to keep getting them back in line. So I don't know everything. But the fact that I know that I don't know everything. And so anyway, Dre said he drove off because he thought that he would have an issue with me if he didn't drive off. And in the past, I would cop an attitude because I'm like, this motherfucker holding us up and you sitting here waiting for him. I got an attitude. And so he said that he drove off because he didn't want no crap with me. And I was like, yeah, that's the old Lonnie. The new Lonnie is like, you do what you feel you need to do, but I am going to be sitting over here with my I told you so energy, which is some work that I need to continue to do. Anyway, so we get back to Andre's apartment, and Andre's not standing outside. Dre literally said, okay, I'm on my way back. This is me. This is just what's going on in my head. I was like, a person who has respect would be like, I've inconvenienced this person once. I'm not going to inconvenience them a second time. So if they told me they're back on their way, I'm going to come down from my apartment and be standing on the corner waiting for them so that I could just hop in the car so they are not further delayed by my inconsideration. But nope, we get back to Andre's and he's not downstairs and we still have to wait for him. And then when he hops in the car with urgency, he says, all right, let's go. Nigga, where's the urgency? Where is the urgency? The urgency was when we were here the first time. The urgency is when we came back and you still ain't down here. That's the urgency. Don't get in my back seat and say, okay, let's go. Anyway, not my battle to fight. So that's where the argument started. Then we get to the airport and, Dre's energy is off. I'm not really in any particular energy because I'm just like, look, it is what it is. So we get on the plane, and when did we argue? Because we took 2 flights. We landed and we came a different way. So our first argument started in a restaurant in the Phoenix airport. And I can't even, and it wasn't even I was going to record the whole trip. Because he was like, are you going to sit and do this the whole trip? And I was like, no, but I am going to document the trip. But that wasn't our argument. Our argument was I was talking to him because he said I was telling him about himself. You come at me like you know me better than me. And I'm like, I do, nigga. I do. I know that you don't think. And it's not that. I told him, I was like, if your subconscious can exit your body, so if Lonnie can exit this body and my body can continue to live my life, that means that I'm not using my brain. That means that I'm doing something so robotically in my life that I don't even have to think to do it. And so I said, Dre, can your conscious leave your body and your body still live your life? And he said, yes. I was like, that means that you don't use your brain. You are not thinking to live your day-to-day life. And that's okay. Just acknowledge it so that your body doesn't need you, or that your body needs you. If your body doesn't need you to go through your day-to-day life, then you need to start using your brain. That's why so many people suffer from dementia and Alzheimer, because we think we're using our brains. We're not. Even if we whatever. This ain't that conversation. So we're sitting there, and I'm telling Dre about himself, and he's getting all offended, and he picks up his phone, and he starts doing whatever he's doing on his phone. Sorry, dry mouth. And I was like, look, you don't want me to sit and talk to the camera. The camera is a way that I have found someone who allow me to speak without rolling their eyes at me. The camera is a way that I have found like-minded people who understand what the fuck I'm saying. The camera is a way that I could talk for. It says, great job, you've gone live for 90 minutes. Don't forget to take a break. Shut up. But the fact that it says, great job, you've had live for 90 minutes, that means that I could talk for 90 minutes straight. And yes, the people who have been here have come and gone and whatnot. It doesn't matter. But the fact is, I could sit and talk to this camera for 90 minutes and nobody has rolled their eyes at me. Nobody has picked up their phone and started playing the game. Nobody has told me to be quiet. So you don't get to do all of those things. And Dre has never told me to be quiet. His actions tell me to be quiet. You don't get to do all of those things and then get mad at me for finding a place that I could be myself. Because this is me. This isn't work for me. This is joy. I can talk and share and think and philosophize all fucking day. I'm a philosopher, apparently. I don't know. But I like to think. And I like to share those thoughts. And so if I can't do it with you, who can I do it with? So that was what our argument was in the airport. That argument carried on to Chicago. And I believe, he yelled at me in the airport in Chicago because at that point I was like, look, I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm just going to be quiet. And this isn't me shutting down. In the past, me just being quiet is me shutting down, and it's just this big, heavy, nasty energy. Y'all know what it is when you shut down. So in the past, that was me being quiet, would be me shutting down. But this time, hold on, my phone's about to overheat. This old raggedy ass phone. Hold on, y'all. I gotta take it out the case. I probably need to go back inside. I could probably go to my room and they can give me peace in my room if I lock my door. Hold on. All right, so I get quiet and I'm like, I'm just not going to engage with you anymore. You don't deserve my energy. You don't respect it. I don't know if I said all that, but that was the vibe I was on. Y'all, I did spirit work for the first time. I haven't been doing my altar work, but I came back from Jamaica and I was like, okay, get your life, Lonnie. You need to commune with your spirits, your ancestors. All right, so I decided I'm going to be quiet. And Dre's cycle is, you still mad? You ain't talking to me? And I'm just like, I don't have to confirm that I'm still mad. I don't have to confirm I'm not still talking to you. I'm going to give you one-word answers because I'm not giving you my energy. I already let you know. I let you know I'm no longer giving you energy. So you don't have to guess. I told you. But, he's used to confrontation, so he's like, and I'm like, okay, it's whatever. So we get to Chicago, and he's like, man, I don't even get down like this. And I was like, I just look at him. And he's like losing his shit in the middle of the airport. And all these people are looking at us. And I'm like, get down like what? You! I was like, what am I doing? Man, your face. I was like, okay, how would you like me to look? Nah, whatever. It's the way you talking to me. I was like, I'm not even talking. How would you like me to talk to you? Like, what? And so he's going through his whole thing in the middle of the airport. And then for some reason he has to, and I'm sitting there and I'm trying to process this because I usually don't get embarrassed. I don't give a fuck what anybody thinks about me. But while he's yelling at me in this airport and all these people are walking around and like looking, I was like, this is embarrassing. And I was like, but why is this embarrassing, Lonnie? I need to process that because I don't care. I don't know these people. I'm never going to see these people again. So why were you embarrassed? Let's do the work real quick. I'm going to show y'all how I do the work. Why was I embarrassed? This is what is called shadow work. Why was I embarrassed? I was embarrassed because he was yelling at me and he was making a public display of a private matter. And so the question I would ask myself is, you have publicly done this before too. You've had public arguments with your husband on social media and other places. So why is this time embarrassing you? And my answer is, you're going to understand I'm asking questions. Oh shit, this is my landlord. He just sent me a text message, so I'm going to have to get off of live in a second. So what I'm doing is I'm answering why, but it's not always why. It's a specific question like, you've done this before. Why is it an issue now? And so it's an issue now because I'm no longer in the headspace where public toxicity or public displays are cool with me. So I've evolved from this being okay. So it's not a matter of people looking at me. I'm embarrassed because something is happening that I believe that I no longer participate in. I'm embarrassed because someone that I'm connected to is doing, so there's some control issues here, right? My husband is doing something that I don't agree with anymore. If I agreed with it, I wouldn't be embarrassed because he's doing something we do. But because he's doing something that I don't do anymore, I'm embarrassed. So now there's some control issues there because he's doing something that I don't agree with. So there's some control work that needs to be done there. And then I forgot the other thing. I'm usually writing this down, so I just go read to see what my healing process was. But yeah, so I wasn't embarrassed necessarily that people saw us. I was embarrassed because he was doing something that I no longer agree with. And I was embarrassed because he was doing it publicly. I don't know. Anyway, that's how you do shadow work. But I do it in my journal so then I can look back at that and then ask my next question. I talk all about that in my book. Oh, I don't have it. Damn it, it's over there. What's the best that can happen? Let me find my charger. Charger! Oh, shit. So anyway, he's cussing me out. Not cussing me out. He's just, whatever he's saying. And then he has to stop and adjust something. But he doesn't say anything to me that he stops. He just stops and veers off. And I see him in my peripheral. But I'm like, fuck you, nigga. You just yelled at me and you disrespected me. So you figure this shit out. You figure out where our next gate is. I don't have to be of service to you, especially when you disrespected me. And he's a big boy. I didn't leave him. I wouldn't have did it in Jamaica. Maybe I would. I don't know. Being in Jamaica, that cured me of walking off. I ain't never walking off again. But I walked off in this instance in the Chicago airport. And he calls me. I'm in a restaurant getting something to eat. And he calls me. He's just going to walk off, huh? And I was like, I didn't know you stopped. Did you alert me to you stopping? Did you say, hey, hold on? Or did you just automatically assume because you stopped, I was supposed to stop? But you didn't give me, you wanted me to give you the respect of stopping for you, but you wouldn't give me the respect of saying, hey, hold on. So we both dropped the rope there, and I'm not taking accountability for shit. So anyway, we're arguing. Okay, bye, babe. I enjoyed you, Savannah. Definitely get in the comment sections on the videos now. Every Wednesday at 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, I'm supposed to be going live, but definitely get into the comment sections. No problem. All right. Anyway, so he, in Chicago, we don't really discuss anything. We make it to Jamaica, and I'm still not talking, and he's still like, yes, Wednesdays, 3 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when I'm going to go live every week. I didn't go this week because I just got into town. I didn't go last week because I was packing to go out of town, but next week I'm on. And so, anyway, we get to Jamaica. We're still, not really talking. So he's seeing stuff on the ride to Jamaica, and I'm seeing stuff that we would usually have a back and forth, having our positive bonding moments. But I'm like, yeah, fuck him. I'm not talking to him because I can't address him the way that I want to. And the way that I want to address him is letting him know that you don't speak to me that way. And so we get to the hotel. And as soon as we get to the hotel, they're like, oh, your complimentary photo shoot is at 4 p.m. And I'm like, well, it's 4:38. So it looks like we missed our photo shoot. And she's like, oh, you did. Let me see if we can reschedule. So she goes in. She was like, what time would be good for you? I was like, 6. And she's like, okay. No, 6:30. She's like, okay, you're rescheduled for 6:30. Now I want you to pay attention to this because this is how God works. So we get there and she's like, your complimentary photo shoot. And I'm like, I don't want to take no photos with this. And I don't like him. I'm about to get up here and tell this nigga if he keep it up, he gonna lose your wife. You gonna lose your wife. I got something to say to him, but I cannot say it publicly because it's gonna start some mess. Because every time I try to speak to him, he pipes up. So I have picked up, like, unless you want to have another public outburst, just be quiet. And so we get to the room, and I'm like, do you want to do this photo shoot? And he's like, yes, whatever. I was like, okay, do you want to wear white for the photo shoot? Because, and this is me throwing something in his face. I'm healing, not healed. I was like, oh, no. I say this downstairs. But I was like, okay, we could wear all white because that's the only thing that we wore that would be matching for photos. So I already knew when they were like, your complimentary photo shoot. I was like, well, damn, if it's a complimentary photo shoot, that means we got to buy some damn photos. With what money, right? So I was like, I don't even want to do this photo shoot because it's going to put me in a position where either I feel like I got to buy some photos or it's going to put me in a position where, I don't want to sit and stare into your eyes and act like I love you right now. I don't. But he's like, yeah, let's do the photo shoot. I'm like, yeah, whatever. We'll do the photo shoot. But in the room is when I actually finally addressed him. And I was like, look, you disrespected me in the airport and I don't appreciate it. Whatever that conversation was. And that is in the point where where he finally revealed to me after 13 years, when I say something about his friends and when I say something about his family, it's actually saying F my history. And I was like, well, I never want to say F your history. So I will stop talking about those things. I was like, why does it take this for you to finally tell me how you feel? Because I'm not a mean person. How is you telling me how you feel being a mean person? You telling me how you feel is giving me your handle with care instructions. You are telling me don't speak to me this way. You don't have to be like, you don't need to talk to me that way. The energy. You come with me with the right energy and I respect it. You come with me with some bump up against me energy, I don't respect it. Because now you're challenging me and I'm a challenge back. Human nature. And so he finally told me, and I was like, there's no reason why it took you 13 years to tell me to stop saying that stuff. So now, I am not concerned. I don't care. I don't give a fuck. No, I'm not concerned with their feelings. I'm concerned with your feelings. So please share your feelings with me so that I can work and accommodate around those feelings. And so we go downstairs. We go downstairs and we meet up with Byron. First, we stop at the bar. So our reconnection starts at the bar with Marlon. You know, Marlon's our bartender. He's cool as fuck. And, you know, we're drinking. I take a shot. This is all on the video. And then we go hook up with Byron. And then you see everything on the video with Byron. If you haven't seen the videos, watch the videos. But Byron was an angel that God used to bring me and my husband back together. Because when we were upstairs having that conversation, I was like, if this is how we're going to continue on, I don't see how we can do forever like this. I don't. And I was like, look, in the past, I would make that statement and I would be like, boom, that's it. But now I'm like, you're my best friend and I want to do forever with you. But we have to figure out how to communicate. We have to figure out how to work together. And you sitting there yelling at me in the middle of the airport is not going to be how we communicate. You know, and now he's to the point where he would usually remain silent, but now he's to the point where he'll say, I apologize, I'm sorry. And it's not with that resentful energy like, I yield, yeah, whatever, I'm sorry. Yeah, you're right, I'm wrong. You know, that's the old energy. The new energy is, you know, okay, I get it. You're right. Like he's saying the exact same thing, but it's the energy. And so we get downstairs and we hook up with Byron and he's like, look at each other in the eye, give him a kiss on the cheek. Byron, by allowing me to feed into his spirit, gave me the outlet that I needed, that my husband was stopping. My husband didn't want me to feed into his spirit because my feeding into his spirit comes across to him like I'm telling him who he is. To Byron, for this complete stranger to tell him who he is. Like, bitch, how do you know me? Because I see your soul. And so me being able to speak into his soul gave me an opportunity that my husband was denying me. And then we're able to you saw the video. But what I'm saying is Byron was placed immediately upon touching down in Jamaica to bring me and my husband together. And because we were able to experience Jamaica and we were able to remove ourselves from our regular, you know, circle of life, and we were able to see each other in a different light, I was able to see all that work that I've been telling my husband he's not doing. He's been doing all the efforts that I've been saying my husband's not making. He is. I got to see all of it. I got to see him and he became so sexy to me, y'all. Like, my husband's a fucking fox. And that's not just visually, like his mind, how he functions, how he treats people. Like, he's an amazing human being. I can't believe that I have attracted such an amazing human into my life, especially when I have yet to meet a good amount of amazing humans. You know, I have the people that are in my life right now in the capacity that they're in my life. They're amazing. Von Treese, what I know of you, you are amazing. You could be whoever you are outside of our interactions, but shouldn't nobody say nothing about Von Treese. Von Treese is an amazing human. You know what I'm saying? And so I was able to see my husband for who he truly is because we moved outside of this setting. So that's why it's so very, yes, you know, and don't take this the wrong way, but you play your position. And hopefully I play my position in your life. You know what I'm saying? It's when people try to overplay their position and try to be something they're not for somebody else and they fail. Now you're disappointing me and now you're not playing your position. But if you be who you are supposed to be in someone's life, then you're winning. It's when we try to make people be everything to us. And I can't be everything to you, but I can be your internet buddy. I could get on your lives and be the one person who's watching your live. I could be pushing those hearts for you because, you know, this is who I am called to be in your life. And I will be this person until I'm called to do something else. And I will love you as long as you're in my life. And I will love you once you leave my life. That friend that I talked about before, no issues between us as far as I'm concerned. They played their position in my life. And I'm grateful for that position. I'm not resentful because they're no longer in my life. I'm grateful that they were. And that's how friends are. That's friendship. Yes, I keep freezing. My phone is overheating. That might be the problem. But I'm gonna get off this horn. I just wanted to hop on here because initially, it was because I have a fan in my room. We got to keep the air off because if we turn the air off, we're burning like $15 to $17 worth of power a day. So it's not off, it's high. So it's got to get pretty damn hot. But it's not hot to me. I'm chilling. But, I had to turn my fan off, which is usually my cool the room down source because it's loud. But the fan would probably cool my phone down and then my phone would stop doing the BS that it's doing. So I apologize. But I just wanted to say, Jamaica was such a healing journey for us as a couple. Like, we went and we climbed that waterfall together and we were all touchy-feely. I noticed he was touchy-feely first. But we were all touchy-feely, and I was just like, and I was thinking about people watching. I was like, ew, we're the lovey-dovey couple. Stop it. But then I was like, no, if he wants to love on me, and I don't have a problem with it. Let's do it. I want to love on him. Like, I've genuinely been loving on him and leaning on him and doing all those things. Like, yes, it was needed. I love having someone to support me. Physically, mentally, emotionally. I love all those things. And who cares what people looking on feel? Oh my God, they can't keep their hands off each other. No, we can. And that should be something, that should be good. That's a good thing. Especially knowing where we came from, knowing that we argued across, I don't know if we went to another continent or whatever, but we definitely argued across an ocean. So knowing that we argued across an ocean, the fact that we can't keep our hands off of each other, that means that something has happened. That means that an energy has shifted. And that means that we are loving each other in a way that we weren't loving each other before. So regardless of what onlookers feel, I'm embracing it. I'm the observer in my life. And I'm like, damn, we went from arguing across an ocean to now we hugged up loving on each other. And it's not, okay, let's just fall back. You know how couples sweep stuff under the rug and then they fall back into, our flow until the shit blows up again? No, it's gone. We worked it out. We said what needed to say. We did the work. And now we're on to some new shit. Because we are committed to forever. And on that road to forever, we're going to have some hookups. And I'm going to be very cognizant of making sure that I don't say that we're moving in two separate directions anymore, because I was able to observe in Jamaica that we're not. His work is just different. He's over there posting his videos. If y'all don't know about grounding yourself, you better figure it out. Or that's not what he said. He was like, go look up grounding yourself. And I was like, I remember when I learned about grounding. So I'm like, he's starting his evolution. And so instead of saying, hey, I've been on my spiritual evolution knowingly since 2012. Get like me. What is that, 11 years later? I've been on this for 11 years. You're just starting now. And I can't appreciate that you're starting now. I want you to be on my level. And so I was able to see that he's on a level. Before that, I couldn't see that he was on a level at all. So those were our arguments before. Because look, if you're not even trying, I can't do nothing with you. But if you're trying, then I can understand you and work with you. And it's not even a working with. I'm just in awe of him now. I'm just watching him and Bailey clash because Bailey blew. The back tire was already on its way out. We had been driving on this split tire for months because I don't know how the tire got a nail or something, but we've needed a new tire, but we haven't had the money to get a new tire. And so thank God we have an air compressor from my art so I could blow my art. And so we've been able to put air into the tire every day instead of having to go over to the gas station or something. So this tire has been able to survive a lot longer than the tire should have survived. And so Bailey's driving the truck, and apparently, the story is one of Dre's clients saw his truck barreling down the street, flying, and Bailey in there with the window down smoking a blunt. And I'm like, Okay, Bailey, you want to be a pilot. You get caught driving under the influence, you're going to get a DUI, and your dreams of being a pilot are out the window. So at least have enough common sense to roll the windows up while you're smoking the blunt. I want you to not smoke the blunt, but I understand that I cannot control her. So the best thing I can do is advise her. So if you do choose to smoke said blunt, roll the fucking windows up so that a cop can't pull up next to you and now you have a DUI and the rest of your life is ruined. And so anyway, Dre calls and he's talking about, man, I just found out Bailey, blah, blah, blah. And Bailey walks in, so I just hand her the phone. I was like, what you telling me about Bailey for? Tell Bailey about Bailey. And so he's saying his piece, and Bailey's like, he's like, every time I let you use my stuff, you mess it up. And Bailey's like, you probably shouldn't let me use your stuff anymore. And he received it as her being an asshole. But I was just like, no, that's the logical thing. If every time you let me use your stuff, I mess it up, logically, you probably should stop letting me use your stuff. So that's where Bailey's coming from. But Dre's coming from the parent, parent-child perspective. So you're talking back and you're being a smartass. But Bailey didn't have the energy. It's all about energy. And so I'm sitting here and I'm watching them. And I'm watching Dre navigate this, even though his tone is the same, his energy is slightly different. Like Dre is dealing with this the way that he's trying to deal with it. And he even texted me and he was just like, I wasn't even upset. I was like, yeah, but you're still presenting in that same tone of upset. So you need to check that. We're going to have a family meeting when he gets home. But, I sat there and I watched that. I was like, first parallel I made while I was watching that was, Bailey, you are Angel. And those of you who are familiar with my family, Bailey, you are Angel. And Dre, you are Bailey. So every time you come to me and you complain about Angel messing your stuff up, every time you come to me and you complain about how Angel doesn't appreciate nothing you do for her, every time you come to me and complain about every time I try to do something for her, she fucks it off, you are his angel. So can you truly get mad at Angel because you are her? You are an angel to someone. And Dre is an angel to someone, and I am an angel to someone. So how can we be mad at people for doing stuff when we do the exact same thing? It is time for us to provide each other understanding. And so the other thing that I watched was Dre said something, and then he said it in a different way. And Bailey was like, see, that's a better lesson. And I was like, damn, So Dre is able to say, like, the stuff that Dre says and the stuff that I've said in the past, what we're saying, it means something, but we're not saying it in a progressive way. We're just scolding, you know what I'm saying? But he said whatever he said, and Bailey was like, okay, that makes sense. That's a better lesson. And so I was like, Bailey, you don't see that he's doing the work. She's like, I'm so tired of him and blah, blah, blah. And she's voicing all her concerns to me about him. I was like, you need to have this conversation with Dre. And Dre's going to come to me and he sent me text messages. I was like, I already see what's happening. She's the beginning stages of a narcissist. I was like, babe, if you see your child is on the road to being a narcissist, it is your job to stop them. It is not your job to see your child is developing traits that are not favorable for them and you just allow it to happen. Why? So you could be right? So you could say, I told you so? No, if you see your child on a road to doing some dumb shit, it's your job to get in front of it. So if you think that your child is on her way to being a narcissist, I am a narcissist and I own my shit and I'm working on it. But if you see your child on a path to being a narcissist, it is your job to help them not. I was like, but we'll have a family meeting. But yeah, I was just like, all the things that you guys are saying to me, you need to say to each other, because Bailey's like, Mom, you don't always need to speak for Angel. I do, because I understand Angel. And I can help you understand her. Angel can say the exact same thing I'm saying, but you don't receive it from her. You receive it from me. So I do have to speak for her. I do have to speak for Bailey. I do have to speak for Dre. I do have to speak for Michael. I do have to speak for Kate. And why? Because I have chosen to have understanding for every single one of those people. You guys have chosen to misunderstand each other. And so while you're in the midst of this misunderstanding, I can now jump in and say, hey, no, this is actually what they mean. And you think I'm rationalizing or justifying. No, I just understand. And I can help you understand. And the fact that I helped you understand, you are now saying that I'm making excuses. No, I'm not making excuses. I just said it in a way that you understand. Now receive it. And stop having an issue. Because if we can understand, everybody 99% of the time has a reason why they say and do the things that they say and do. it can make sense to you. And yeah, it may not be a favorable thing, but you can understand. You know what I'm saying? And so I was like, me and Dre argue. And this is why I said arguing is necessary, but it's the right kind of argue. Me and Dre argue because we're trying to figure out how to communicate with each other. Now, he argues with himself because I don't argue anymore. I talk just like this. Because we were sitting at the bar in Jamaica and we were having a discussion, and the woman standing next to us was like trying to look over the side of her eye like, I was like, yes, we're having a discussion. Would you like to join the conversation? Because you keep looking over in the side of your eye, and you're more than welcome to join. You don't have to guess if we're having an argument. We are. Would you like to join? Like, bitch, if you're going to be in it, be in it. Stop ear hustling. Like, shit, I'm going to be like, I'd respect that way more than, bitch, get your drink and go. Anyway, so yeah, me and Dre we're trying to figure out, in those videos that I filmed a while back talking about I've been arguing, and I say that me and Bailey were bumping up against each other because we have to figure out how to communicate with each other present day. We knew how to communicate with each other in, when we were looking to be offended by each other and all those other stuff, and how we were talking to each other and, under thumbing and all that stuff. We had a great communication pattern then. But we don't function that way, so now we have to relearn how to communicate. And that's why 99% of your relationships don't work, and that's why 99% of your relationships break up around that 5, 6 year, 7 year mark, because we all go through spiritual evolutions. If we recognize them, then we understand that's what's happening, and we can have compassion for our partners. If you're with your soulmate, you'll go with them together. But if you're not, then you're going to bump up against each other. I only have one hand, but those were things bumping up against each other. Let me go like that. You're going to bump up against each other. It's getting better. You're going to bump up against each other. But if you understand, they've entered their spiritual evolution, you can give them compassion, and they're aware enough to know, I'm entering my spiritual evolution. That means it's about to get fucking turbulent. It's about to get turbulent. It is very turbulent. It's crazy, the turbulence. Like, everything is up in the air right now, y'all. Everything is up in the air right now. So anyway, they're having their back and forth. And I was like, look, we're bumping up against each other because we're learning how to recommunicate with each other. Bailey and Dre need to have these conversations. They have great bonding moments. They have a great bond. But they don't have any soul connections. Because every time Bailey tries to speak to Dre automatically goes into you're a child, and I'm assuming and telling you your thought process. And then when Bailey's like, no, this is my thought process, he's like, well, no, you're making up excuses, you're lying, or blah, blah, blah. Like, we don't believe what people say to us. We're going to believe our own narratives. Like, that's asinine. Like, that's stupid. You're literally telling me your thought process, and I'm like, yeah, no, that ain't it. Then what is it? You tell me what I'm thinking. And so I was like, you and Dre are going to have a lot of uncomfortable conversations until you guys find y'all's communication problem. I mean, not problem. Until you guys find your communication comfort zone. Hold on. Wherever it's easy. Not easy, but for y'all to figure out how to communicate. I think me and Dre found our vibe in Jamaica because I released control to gain control. I stopped telling him who he is, and I started seeing who he was. Like, I'm guilty of the asinine stuff too. He's telling me he's changing. I'm like, well, I don't see it. Well, you don't see it because you're not updating your lens, ma'am. You're not seeing it because you're not taking him out of our typical environment and putting him in another environment where you can actually observe, has he changed? Yes, he has. So if I release control to gain control, we are no longer bumping up against each other. I'm able to see him for who he is, and he's able to I can stop fighting against you. Now I can be me. Because that's all we are doing. We are fighting each other to be seen. And if we could start seeing each other, and that's why I was like, everybody needs to go on a vacation. Go on a vacation as a family. Go on a vacation individually with your kids. Go on a vacation with your spouse. Go on vacation and just see how everybody moves, this is only if you're doing the work. If you're not doing the work, you're going to see the same BS. But if you're doing the work, get out of your normal environment and see how everybody moves and see the work that they've been doing. and then you can appreciate them more. And me and Dre have moved into this space now where I am in complete appreciation of him. I think that I have definitely dropped a wall that has been between us. And I don't know what walls are between us. I've known that there were walls between us. Like my whole relationship with him, he's the one person that I've allowed to get as close that I've allowed to get close to me, but he has not fully penetrated me. And it's probably the same for him. I'll never know. I just found out 13 years later, he wants me to stop talking about his people because it's offensive to him. I was like, oh, I wonder what I'm going to find out in the next 13 years about you. I'm not waiting 13 years. I'm going to coax him to start speaking to me. I'm going to let him know that it does not hurt my feelings for you to let me know that I'm hurting your feelings. My way is not so important that I don't care about how you feel. I care about how you feel. Yes, I like to have my way, but I also care about you. And I don't want you to feel so freaking shrunk and stifled being in a relationship with me. But because I'm not as abusive as your last wife, I'm better. Like, my trauma isn't the trauma that he's used to, so my trauma's okay. No, I don't want to cause trauma. So if I'm doing something that's offensive to you, let me know so I can stop. Because I'm going to let you know when you're doing something that's offensive to me. They did a couple's little game show at the resort, and it was like, what's the most annoying thing that your partner does? And I was like, that means that your partner is doing something and they've communicated with you that you're doing it and it's annoying, and you still choose to continue to do it because you're not taking your partner's handle with care and structures into consideration. If someone communicates with you that you have a behavior that is triggering for them, why wouldn't you make any effort to kind of, work with them? Because this is forever. Why must I be triggered by you for the rest of our lives together when it's a simple that you can do if you choose? So I think that's it. I think I've given you enough. I can go on another tangent, but like I said, my landlord texts me, so I gotta go have this phone call, and I might be hitting y'all up with anybody got an extra room? I don't know, but all I know is don't worry about a thing. Every little thing is gonna be all right. If this ends, something else will open up. And even if what opens up isn't ideal, like I said, I've slept on people's floors on an air mattress before. Now, I've never done it with an entire family. But, I've been homeless before. And I'm not saying I'm headed towards homelessness. What I'm saying is I've not had a roof over my head. My whole life, I've never really had stable. Like, I don't even consider my childhood when I talk about my turbulence in trying to survive. And this isn't that. I don't want to come across like it's like it is dire, but I don't want to come across that way. It's just that I've been here before. But I never take my childhood into I've been here before. Like, my childhood was definitely, it was 0 to 2 was stable, and then I ended up with my mom, and that was just, the early crack den. So, rats and roaches, pissy mattresses and shit like that, but I was a kid, so I didn't see anything wrong with it. And then my dad kidnapped us and took us to Germany. He said he was just going to take us for the summer and just never brought us back. But thank God, because they say every time you make a choice, there's a version of you that's living the other version. So there's a version of me that came up in that, and I wonder how her life is. But my dad came and got us, and, that was stable because, my stepmom brought stability into that, and there was no drugs in that space, but they ended up getting a divorce, and then we moved back to Colorado. And that's when the instability started. So the instability in my life really has started since I was 8 years old. I have been, this past 6 years with Dre have been the most stable 6 years of my life. And I'm 42. Ain't that some shit? I have lived an unstable life, not knowing what the fuck is going to happen. But isn't that, we take tomorrow for granted. We assume we know what's going to happen, but we don't. Anything can happen. You know, but I've had 6, and then I was in kindergarten to 3rd grade. So kindergarten, 1st, 2nd, 3rd, what is that? 4 years of stability in my childhood, 6 years of stability in my adult life. And then everything else has just been a fucking clusterfuck. That's crazy. It's time that we fix that. And I know that my life has been what my life has been so that I could get on this horn and have this conversation with you guys so that we can wake up to the fact that, you know, we need to have a fucking plan and a goal or something. We gotta have something going on. So anyway, all right, y'all. I love you, Von Trees. Thank you for hanging out with me. And my other person that's on there, I thank you for joining me. I will post this. Yes, thank you. I will post this on my Lonnie Appleton lives on YouTube, so you guys can catch the whole live if you missed anything. But yes, thank you, sis. You're my buddy, and we will meet one day at one of our retreats or shit. We may meet off on some other time. Who knows? But we gonna kick it. We gonna wear our dresses together. Our LonnieTaylorArt.com dresses. All right, y'all. Love you. Let me go deal with this landlord stuff. Y'all put a prayer up in the air. All right, y'all.